Hello, I am Demon, back with another ranking of Total Drama characters. This time, we're doing the Total Drama Revenge of the Island cast from Season 4. Uh, I like Revenge of the Island, and I like these characters for the most part. So, hey, let's just get right into it. First character we got here is Brick. Brick's cool. Brick's cool. I like him. I like him. Honorable, has some funny moments, but yeah, just like nice guy, but still like interesting. Like there's still like Brick's got some quirks. I love the whole fashion thing he's got going on. Like he's not good at it, but you can see the passion there. Um, Definitely takes a lot of the injuries in the season as well. Sort of the pain magnet, which is it's fine. I mean, Brick doesn't deserve the pain, but it's just kind of his shtick, and I think he does his shtick well. And yes, yes, it would have been good for Brick to return in All Stars. Definitely would have fit the heroic hamsters theme. But oh well. Next we got Joe. Joe's alright. I like Joe. Not as much as Brick. Joe is kind of like this mixture of like Eva with like Heather a little bit, kind of. Like kind of like Eva, but like with like some actual strategy going on, and not as angry. Joe's cool though. I do like. There's a few moments where they actually like they could have made Joe pretty just like full on like villain pretty easily, but they give Joe just enough of um these good moments where it's like okay, this feels like a person, not a great person, but they're a person, you know. I'm mostly thinking of yeah. I mean, this is just Joe's cool. I like her dynamic with Brick a lot. That's very fun. That like competitive energy, and of course Joe and Lightning's dynamic's always a lot of fun. You know that like that's fun too. Even Joe and Cameron, that's quite you know. I will be honest. I wish the finale was actually Joe and Cameron. I think because they sort of build up this. Cameron wants to sort of be in an alliance with Joe, and Joe sort of underestimates him, and so that would have been a really cool sort of finale to have Joe having to like be like Cameron, little stick boy. I crushed the stick boy with my bare hands, you know. Sort of like very similar to Lightning versus Cameron, but I just feel like with Joe versus Cameron, you'd have a bit more of a history. Anyways, this isn't about a Joe vs Cameron video. This is ranking Total Drama Revenge of the Island characters. And next we got Shabam! It's Lightning. No, I don't dislike Lightning. I like him more than Joe. Lightning is just, he's just funny. He's not bright at all. He's kind of got this bit of like, he's definitely got this arrogance to him, but it's just fun to watch. I mean, he's not very bright, so like you know his arrogance sometimes he gets pays for it a little bit. And of course Lightning vs Cameron is a good finale. Like Brain vs Brawn, can't really go wrong. They do try and like make Lightning a bit of a villain at the end of Revenge of the Island, but it's not like too bad. And then Lightning in All Stars is actually like quite good still. And I didn't mention Joe in All Stars, but she's fine in All Stars. I mean, they both get eliminated pretty early, so what can you do? Cameron, I like him in Revenge of the Island quite a bit. All Stars, he's probably neutral in All Stars. that means he goes right there. I like Cameron more than I'm neutral on Cameron. I mean, I think his run on Revenge of the Island is quite. I think it's solid. I think it's a solid. I think Cameron's a solid winner, sort of an underdog. Like Cameron legitimately has some interesting strategies going on. Like again, he does try and align himself with Joe, or when he thinks Joe is gonna like betray him or whatnot, Cameron puts that like small explosive in the smoke machine. That like Cameron has like a slight like devious edge. Even in All Stars with the plan with Scott with the Fang, that sort, so Cameron, good person at heart with just enough going on where it's like, yeah, I like this. And of course he is like super like scrawny, so that's always it's always fun to have that sort of character compete on a show like this. I mean, especially Revenge of the Island, where it seems like everything is out to kill these people. Mike, there is a lot of, there's a lot to Mike, isn't there? Mike himself, I like him alright. But, I mean, this isn't just Mike, right? This is all the personalities, right? I mean, I gotta factor all of them in. Svetlana I like, Chester's funny, Manitoba Smith's fine, probably a little unnecessary. Vito's actually quite good. Vito actually does some stuff. And then Mal is fine in concept. Execution is slightly iffy. Like I think they make Mal just a bit too evil. Like there's just nothing redeeming at all. Or I guess no, that's not. It's just like Mal's a bit too like cartoony of a villain, which I mean, I a bit ironic because well, Total Drama's a cartoon and all, but the characters are usually relatively grounded out, and Mal is not grounded out. Well, okay, I guess Pockettail Island's not very grounded, its characters, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Mal's a bit goofy. I like Mike. Mike and Zoe's obviously cute. Right there. Everyone's just so far. This is a very boring ass tier. I just like everyone. I don't love anyone. I'm not neutral. I don't dislike anyone. If I might have to like change it slightly. Zoey. God damn it. Guess who's going in the like tier as well? Yeah, Zoey. It's pretty good. Revenge of the Island. I like Commando Zoey. All Star Zoey's not too bad. I like her dynamic with like Duncan and just sort of her dynamic with the Heroes team. The mouse stuff's not great, but eventually she catches on. I wish she catched on a little earlier, but what can you do? I like Zoe. She's cool. Yeah, that feels right to me. I'm gonna actually move Brick up to the love. I'm gonna put him right at the bottom of love because Brick is. I just wish Brick had more episodes. It's a shame, but Brick really only 7 episodes. That's crazy. Anne Maria. Oh right. I like Anne Maria. God damn it. I mean it's good. It's good because it's good. That's a solid cast overall here, but Anne Maria probably goes at the very bottom of like. I mean, she's sort of a bit of a one-off, gimmick. The stuff with Vito is just a little extra drama. I mean, that's pretty neutral. Actually, it's pretty neutral. We got to have someone in neutral, and I think Anne Marie is. I like Anne Maria. So, there's just not a whole lot, there. Actually, I do like her dynamic with Cameron a little bit. That's actually quite fun. Um, this feels about right because I guess the drum with Vito in there is a little bit. It's whatever. All right, Scott. I know Scott's not going in the like tier because he's going way at the top. Yeah, let's go. Not my favorite character, but Scott. I just think he's a really entertaining villain in Revenge of the Island. Really entertaining. A little bit of plot armor, but not too much plot armor. I have a video all about why I think Scott's plan is actually quite good, albeit risky, but it's good. And yeah, I mean, Scott and All Stars is also, pretty good, even if it's a very. Well, I guess the first maybe like 2 episodes feels like, Scott from Revenge of the Island, but Scott very quickly turns into almost a different character. I mean, almost, not quite, but yeah. The Scott and Courtney stuff's cute. But yeah, Revenge of the Island. Scott is just like this sneaky little rat bastard. That's the best way to describe him. I don't like the karma he gets. I mean that like machine he gets like stuffed into. That is like, god damn, that is like so rough. I actually wish, and in All Stars where you got Alejandro still in the robot suit or whatever, and then when he gets out, his legs don't work for a little bit. I kind of wish they had something like that in All Stars where like Scott, he's not in the machine or whatever, but he's just like in a wheelchair or something. He's like, I got mauled up, So that'd been funny just to have. Although, I mean, I'm perfectly okay with Scott being completely normal somehow in All Stars. He's just completely fine again, well, except for the definite PTSD he got from Fang. I mean, Scott is, like, so terrified of sharks, and I don't blame him. Yeah, I guess it's enough for, I mean, Scott also has a pretty good run in both seasons. Next up we have Dawn. I mean, this is a fan favorite character, and she's in like 5 episodes. She's like barely in it, and even within those 5 episodes, I mean, she doesn't. How relevant is Dawn in like episode 4? She's not. She immediately gets captured by the Izzy, so she's like relevant in like 3 of them. But you know what? Dawn is fucking cool. She's really cool. Maybe partially because she's so mysterious and like she isn't in the season a lot, which maybe makes her better. No, I would have liked to see. I definitely would have liked to see more Dawn. Bring back Dawn. I mean, there's a lot you can do with Dawn. I mean, I know I certainly have with Total Drama Destiny, which is a fan season I've created, which is on this channel. God, I guess like Dawn is just, yeah. I can't put Dawn any higher because Dawn is, she's just not that relevant in the show as a whole. I mean, but entertaining. I like how like she's relatively nice, although I don't think she's as nice as people like say she is. I think Dawn, there's definitely like an edge to Dawn a little bit, where it's like, I mean, when you had her and Scott sort of fighting in episode 5, or even just Dawn sort of either unintentionally like revealing people's secrets, or there's just I remember a bit with Dakota where Dawn just like blatantly insults Dakota, and it's like that was a little uncalled for, but it's like it's funny. B, the silent guy. I mean, really entertaining while you're there. You're not there very long. Probably there. I like this guy, but he's just not in it that much. Like, And I mean, you can only do so much with the whole him being silent. I mean, I think they did about as much as you could, right? I mean, what development can you give a guy like B? Don't really know. He is really cool. I do like that he's like super smart and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's not a ton to talk about, really, is there? Alright, Dakota. I'm actually going to go neutral on Dakota. I think she's alright. I like her and Sam. That's actually that's very good, actually. Um, I don't mind her early elimination. She's fine in those first episodes. I think I mean Dakota's definitely best when she's brought back as the intern and you got her and Sam sort of having like just talking to each other. That's definitely Dakota at best. Eventually, you then get the Dakota Zoid, which that is certainly I do not know how I feel about that. Permanently like altering this teenage girl into like a monster is kind of crazy. I mean, Sam's into that. I mean, Sam's into it, which I mean, I mean that's funny actually. But yeah, it's also kind of yeah, I like it. But I mean, yeah, Dakota Zoid is certainly a thing that I'm probably am neutral on. I don't hate it, but I'm also like I don't know if I like that either. So and yeah, so Dakota overall is just neutral. Sam. Uh, oh, sorry, I meant Seth Rogen. I don't love Seth Rogen. Hold on. Okay, so Sam, it's fine. Probably there. I mean, Sam is Sam. Has some funny moments. Doesn't do a whole lot in All Stars. But I like him enough in Revenge of the. I like him in Revenge of the Night, and I'm neutral with him on All Stars. I actually wish if they were gonna bring Sam back for All Stars because I mean, he doesn't fit, right? He's not an All Star. He clearly doesn't fit with the rest of the cast. But I kind of wish they sort of lean into the fact that he doesn't fit and actually made him go further. Like, imagine Sam winning All Stars. Imagine Sam beating Alejandro and Heather and Duncan. Like, it would be so. It's like the perfect like underdog thing, and they could have done that for Sam, but they just sort of didn't do that. They just sort of had him be fodder, which is the more realistic option, I suppose, but it's not. It kind of just feels a bit of a wasted slot. But I mean, Sam's fine. Sam doesn't do anything wrong. And Sam's cool and Revenge of the Night. Again, him and Dakota is very, very sweet. And finally, we've got Stacy. I mean, I don't like Stacy. She's the first boot. She's a good first boot in the sense of like it makes perfect sense why she's the first boot. But I also think she's a bad first boot because it's too obvious of a first boot. She's too obvious of a first boot character, which I think is an issue, right? A good first boot character it should make sense why they're the first boot without it being obvious. So Ezekiel kind of does this better. It's obvious once he makes the sexist comment or whatever, but until then you don't really assume much. Beto is a good first bit because that whole team is kind of a bit shit. So I mean between like Leonard and Beto, so it's like I mean obviously one of them's got to go. Even in the reboot with Kayla being the first boot, like it makes enough sense. I sort of get it, and I mean, that's not the most obvious pick. Stacy's too obvious. Yeah. So do I hate Stacy? I don't know. I don't hate. I'll be honest. The problem is I don't hate that many of the characters in Total Drama. Like most of them are fine. In fact, I like most of them. So, and Stacy's not even in it that long. Do I dislike Stacy? I guess I'll leave her dislike, but she's like at the bottom of the dislike. She's all. I don't. I almost hate Stacy, but she just doesn't bother me that much. She's not in it enough to bother me. Like, oh wow, she's annoying for one episode. I'm sure it's fine. And I mean, it's not like Stacy. I mean, if Stacy ever comes back for another season, I mean, there's not much you can do. I guess you could do a little bit, but. And anyways, yeah, so that is my Total Drama Revenge of the Island tier list. We'll do Pahkitew Island next time. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.